Hello, it's good to have you join us again for your favorite program coming to you from NTA2 Lagos Network Center. This is Close Flow, and we know that this conversation is about you and how you can play your role in making Nigeria to be one of the biggest, greatest, and most proficient nations on the face of the earth. How true that statement is what we're going to be looking at today. Yet again, we are going to unveil yet another distinguished Nigerian who is going to be sharing with us perspectives, experiences, fears, probably even disappointment in how all of us, we have played our roles or we have failed to play our proper roles in managing the affairs of this country. Incidentally, I'm just going to, keep the lead on our guest for a while, but suffice to say that our guest is a chartered accountant. Our guest spent so many years in the financial sector. I will not disclose where in the financial sector so that many of you will not be calling me before even we start the program. Okay, and then our guest is a successful business personality. Having already raised so many enterprises. We'll be looking at all this. So our guest has worked both in the private and public sector. Incidentally, our guest also is a philanthropist. Don't come and beg for money when you have time to ask for questions. No. She might not be able to give you money, but she can give you advices and direction on how you can make your own money. But importantly, our guest is a wife, she's a mother, and therefore she is very, very keen to see how motherhood, parenting, and marriage life can become great pillars of building a nation. Stay with us. We're back.
Hey, beautiful. Your eyes, your smile are all begging me to take you home tonight. Now reading page 3. Experience unlimited super-fast internet access from Entel 4G. Entel. Live more. Experience unlimited super-fast internet access from Entel 4G. Entel. Live more.
Thank you for staying with us. This is Close Flow coming to you from NTA2 Lagos Network Center. Like I said to you, the conversation is about you and how you're playing your role in building our nation. So today we are looking at maintaining a successful family life as a pillar of nation building. And we have cautiously invited into the studio a chartered accountant and a business manager, somebody who served this country meritoriously for 35 years at the Central Bank of Nigeria, but who today manages several businesses in addition to running a home as a mother, as a wife, and therefore as a responsible citizen. My pleasure to welcome onto Close Flow today on your behalf, Pastor Omolara Adesanya. You're welcome to Close Flow.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Just before we started, as she came in, I said to her, she's looking very 16ish. I don't know how many of you will want to agree with me on that. So how have you been able to maintain that?
Well, that has just been due to fear of God, patience, peace of mind. And I believe that with God on one side, you can look younger than you are. I believe that's it.
Now, that again is another aspect of this Nigerian factor. Many people think that Nigerians are too religious, and therefore maybe that's why we're not making progress.
Well, everybody have their own opinion. If you're religious, it's something good because it affects your thinking. And also when you have a wonderful man as a husband, and he's giving you peace of mind, rest of mind, of course. So religion, I mean, if you're very close to God, then you know that everything you do, every step you take, every decision you make aligns with the things of God. And when that is done, you have rest of mind.
I like the introduction of the question of having a good husband,
Yes.
because
Yes.
the modern society, single parenting seems to be the norm now. So how do we reconcile ourselves to that?
You see, many people marry for different reasons. So what is the reason? What reason? Why are you marrying? You know, some marry because they just want to leave their homes. They're tired. And then some marry under pressure. They've been put under so many pressures. And then some marry because their friends are getting married, so let me just marry. Some, they believe on that particular wedding gown and the parties and all that. But marriage is more than that. Marriage is discipline. Marriage is understanding. Marriage is respect. Marriage is understanding who your spouse is and trying as much as possible to do that which you can do within your own, to ensure that that person is fine. Because you see, if you are somebody that is always ready to prove a point or ready to claim right, then you're not ready for marriage. Boys and girls don't get married. It's men and women that get married. So when you're a boy, you're not ready for marriage. If you're somebody who is ready to win an argument at every point in time, you are not ready for marriage. If you're somebody that is ready to let that person believe that, look, anything you say, I am ready to match you
Word for word,
then you're not ready for marriage. And if you cannot take nonsense in marriage, you are not ready for marriage. Because nonsense will come in marriage. Things will come in marriage. Challenges will come in marriage. How do you handle it? So if you are the type of person that I can't take this nonsense, then you're not ready for marriage. So there's some things that you yourself, you have to talk to yourself. Why am I going into this marriage? Is it a short-lived thing? Is it a permanent thing? Is it what I'm going to go through without, whatever I meet in there? Because marriage is, you have challenges in marriage. There's nobody that is perfect in marriage. So, and God doesn't give you a perfect material. God gives you a raw material, which you're supposed to mold and ensure that it comes to that level and that understanding. I'm not perfect. He's not perfect. And we're coming from two different backgrounds, two different ethnic groups. So why should I expect him to be perfect? So that is what marriage is all about.
That's been realistic.
Yes.
Painfully so, but that's been realistic.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now let's look at how all these factors or all these values would find a way to reflect on how we build our society. Some development experts and psychoanalysts have said that women leaders are often more transformational. But looking at the situation in Nigeria or many African countries, do you see that statement as being mere rhetoric, or do you see value in what they're saying?
I see value in what they're saying because, you see, as a woman, we are multitasking. As a woman, we bring life into every situation. And as a woman, we try to see and understand what is happening in a situation. You see, when you understand or when you see that something is not going well, you want to find solution to it. The solution that you might be finding to it might not what is palatable, but you know that that solution is going to bring solace, is going to bring love and peace to whatever is happening. Then you take that decision. But some might not want to take it. Some men might not want to take it if they feel that no, that's too strong. But you see some women that are disciplined and they have a purpose and they know where they're going, because you see, you are not making decisions for yourself.
Alone.
You are making decisions for even people you don't know. All you're doing is that you want to ensure that people are fine. You want to ensure that there is no poverty. You want to ensure that, okay,
there's no deprivation.
Yes. So a woman, we're sentimental. We're caring. We're loving. So a woman that doesn't have that, then something is wrong somewhere. Because if somebody falls down now, or a child is walking and is weeping, I just want to carry that child. Oh, don't fall. That is our instinct. You understand? So I believe that women brings in a lot of value. We bring value. Well, there have been some one or two women that have been adult. I mean, there's nobody that is perfect.
Perfect, yeah.
Because you all know the reason why they're where they are. But you see, if you are there to help people, if you are there to care, if you are there to ensure that things go the right way, then I believe women bring value.
Okay, let's borrow your brain a bit. I mean, at the central bank, you rose almost to become a director.
Yes, please.
Now, how did you see yourself playing your role as a woman and as a mother? Because again, that's a difficult environment you have found yourself, serving at the central bank and being a mother where that you must take care of your home needs and also be there in the office to take care of the pressing national needs. So how did you cope with that kind of pressure?
You see, I first thank God that I worked in central bank, because central bank is a place that builds up his people, his workers, his employees. And we know
What you're saying is this: central bank actually invests in.
Invest in the people, good training, all that is there. And then we have a closing time, which is 4-5. Then if you have other work that you need to do till 8, but not till 12, not till 11. Like now that you have some banks, people work till 11.
Yes.
You don't even have time for yourself.
Yes.
Now, central bank is caring in that respect, because they make sure you work at the right time. Now, for the home, you have children. You have to balance it. The two of you have to work hand in hand.
Two of you, that's
The
yourself
husband
and your husband.
and the wife, yes. Because, like the Bible says, iron sharpeneth iron. You know who will drop the children in school. You know who will pick up the children. If you are not available, your spouse does it. You know who's supposed to go for the open day of the children.
Yes.
So you balance it. You don't. So when I'm not available,
You should be available.
he's there. He's there. So, and the training, and by the time I get home, I'm there for the children. The children get home around 3. By 5, 6, I'm there. So you are able to put values in your children. Because you see, when your children are young, that is when they need these values. That is when they need this discipline. You cannot discipline a child who is already made. So all those things were things that one was watching to ensure that everything works together. And then morally, you have to make sure they go to church. You have to teach them the way of the Lord. They have to have the fear of the Lord. Because if you don't put it in them, they don't have it. And they cannot, give what they don't have. So you have to, put things in your children that you know that in life, when they develop over time, it's part of their character. It's part of their life. And so they are not easily influenced by peer group. Then go to the market. Weekends is for market time. I go to the market. You buy things
Yourself.
Oh yes, I go to the my mother. I go with her. Ido, Oyigbo, everywhere. Okay, we go there. She takes me all around. Know how to haggle. Know how to negotiate. So all those things you also bring up in your children. So you have to learn. It's not only supermarket. Oh yes, supermarket is there quite all right. But you see, there's some things that even right now at times I still go to Karen when I really want to get something in bulk. So all these things you have to know how to manage the finances, because your husband cannot give you everything. And the money you enter is not enough to make up everything. So you have to make sure that where you are getting things from, there are places where you know that it's cheaper than other places. So those are the things. When you just got married, you have to understand how to manage whatever you have. And then you add to whatever he's giving you, because what he's going to give you is not going to be enough, and he's going to take care of house rent, he's going to take care of the cars, he's going to pay school fees, he's going to do so many things. So you yourself, you've got to help. Iron sharpeneth iron. So you work together. Two makes it work well. But if it's only one person, then they'll be struggling, they'll be quarreling, they'll be nagging, there'll be complaints, because one person is carrying the burden.
Okay, all right. Now, what you have profiled so far now is like as it were, a very keen role model for wives, mothers, and all that. But in Africa, women are not often profiled as role models. They're not seen as role models. Rather, they use men as role models. Why do we have that situation?
For me, women are role models. There's some that might not be educated. There's some that might not have understanding. So many. But don't forget, some of our mothers in those days were not educated, but they were disciplined, and they also had values. These are women that are ready to train other children apart from their own children. Whenever they see a child doing anything that is wrong, they are ready to correct them. So it is not now that even when you talk to a child, you see that is not doing something well, the mother is ready to go to the school to tell them, excuse me, what's that? No, that's not for my child. It's not like that in our days. So everybody chips in one thing or the other to ensure that that child is well groomed, because you are not only grooming that child, you're grooming the society, because family is the bedrock of a society. So when you discipline a child, you are not only disciplining that child, you are also the environment, the communities, and at the end, the nation at large. Yes.
Okay, now so let's come back to family life and politicking. So now you have mentioned it, you have given us the bedrock. So the family life should be the bedrock to how a nation, becomes, a strong,
yes,
sustainable,
yes,
positive,
yes,
good nation.
yes.
But politicking in Nigeria is not showing to us that we have good family background.
Yes. Well, it's because nowadays many parents don't have time for their children
Anymore.
They are more into making this money. And I don't understand, when you make all the money,
What are you going to do with it?
how useful is it when your children are not well trained? And so we have poor parental values given to them, poor training, no care, no monitoring and guidance. So all those put together in a child doesn't make that child the best for the society. So we have to understand that yes, we should work. Yes, we have God in our lives. Yes, we have to train our children, because if you don't train them, this society, and that is what we're seeing right now.
Yes.
A lot is happening right now that at times we sit down and wonder what happened, because the parents of these children are you and me, and we know the training we received. So what happened along the line? Where did that greed come in? Because greed came in so much, corruption is so much, because what the children see resonates more with them than what you teach them. Because when you say this is what they're supposed to do, this is how it's supposed to be done, and you are far from that, then definitely you're just talking trash. Because as far as they're concerned, they have seen their dad, what their dad is doing. They have seen what their mother is doing, and you don't even have time for them. When they need you, you're not there. When they have questions, you're not there to answer. So what do you expect? And that is why they take solace in their friends. And their friends don't know better. They don't know better. They go with peer groups. They lure them into things that they have never been taught. And because they want to try, because when you're young, there's so many things you want to try. You want to see how this works. You want to see how that works. And a child who was not brought up that way, at the end of the day, will suffer. And because once that person tastes anything once or does that thing, wants to keep on doing it. And so where is the parent? So when you are not available for your children, you don't play with them. I remember there was a time I saw my husband. He was playing with the children. They were playing Ludo. They play Ludo. I say, wow, this is nice. They talk. They play chess. They play Scrabble. They talk together. That is what a parent is supposed to be. He's not a macho. Men should not just be macho. Okay, I bring money to the house. Play with your children. There's nothing wrong in it. Talk to them. Some boys want to ask their father some things the mother cannot answer. They want to ask their father questions. So let the man be available. Oh, Dad, when I woke up, I felt this way.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah.
No, they should be available. But when the man is not available, the husband is not there. He just believes that all I need is just give them the money. The money is there. So that is why we have a lot of children now into drugs, into so many things. Because most of these children, they are not children of the poor. Very few of them are children of the poor. Yeah. And it is because they have lured them, peer groups, bad peer groups, and then parents not having time for their children. All this has happened. Social media is another problem, because they see a lot of terrible things on social media, which we cannot help. We cannot stop that.
Yes, because it's revolution. Yes,
we can't stop it. And so if we cannot stop it, so how do we help? It is the discipline you have instilled in your children. Because when you instill such discipline in your children, when something terrible, they will tell you that, no, that's not for me. No, that's not for me. I can't do that. Yes, I can paste this one on the social media, but this one, no, it's not for me.
Okay, let's bring that to nation building.
Yes.
So, do you think that the Nigerian nation, as it were, is now like an adolescent that is still experimenting, that is still, being adventurous, still trying to find her way to become a nation? Is that where we are? Or is it because we have been misled? Is that poor parenting values have now led Nigeria to where it is today?
I think so. I think poor parental values. Don't forget that we still have some children too that are very good. We have some youths too that are very good. We have some youths that are disciplined. But you see, what we see, even if they are 5%, that is what we see a lot. So it is not that we don't have
at
youths.
all.
Yes, we have them, and that is why they want to be seen. They want to be known. They want to be they want to be showcased. Our children need to be showcased. Go by those days, you say leaders of tomorrow. Where are they? We're still, recycling the old ones. It is time for the young ones to come forward. I'm telling you, there's so many youths with intelligence. They will talk and you open your mouth. Why did we train them? Why did we send them to school? Give them the chance. Why should we continue recycling the old people? Honestly, I'm not for it. I know, yes, not totally the nation should be, ruled by just the young ones and all that. You have, advices from the old
elderly, yes.
And all that. We can have them together, both younger, but give them a chance. There's so many young ones. If you see the developments, what they do, we can be compared to any nation in the world. So I won't say that, when adolescents, but I would say that if you're given the chance, if the young ones are given the chance, there will be a 360-degree turnaround for the nation.
Okay, all right. I'm happy you said that because that's quite optimistic. So I'm coming back to the question of how we can rebuild the nation. Today we are looking at the younger generation. They're looking at secular economy. They're looking at, how can we marry? Secular economy with backward integration and sustainable development. Now, do you see a role for women? Because women in Africa, they are supposed to be in the kitchen. So how would women, what role would they play in this kind of, we are looking at secular economy, where we're looking at safe environment, where we're looking at reusable, product, where we're looking, how can a woman perform in that environment when women in Africa are supposed to be in the kitchen?
Well, women in Africa be in the kitchen. I don't know about that, because I know that women, I'm not in the kitchen. I work for 30-something years in a place. Which kitchen? Yes, we still make everything fine and everything nice and all that. But where we need to be is the core. In there. And let them see that when the woman is there, things can change. And that was one of the reasons why I decided to be bold enough to contest at the governorship for Lagos State,
yes,
the last time.
Yes.
Because I believe it is not a do-or-die affair. It is an affair that you need to bring a change.
Yes.
You want to serve. Women are ready to serve. Give them the chance. So their place is not in the kitchen. Which kitchen? No. At all. The place for a woman is to serve. Put them anywhere they will serve. Put them anywhere they will put life into that situation. Look at all the women that are presidents in different countries. Now. See where they are. See where their countries are. Just see it. Look, there are many women in Nigeria that can rule this country fine. There are many women. If you give them the chance, you will see what a woman can do.
Well, somebody did a research, and the conclusion of that research is that demographic processes in Africa, or maybe even in Nigeria, do not recognize or even rate the contributions of women into nation building.
How can you rate it when you have not given them the chance? You can't rate them. You rate something that you know.
You have given, yes.
You've given the chance. Bring seven men here. Bring 2 women,
yes,
and see. Let them talk, and then hear, and then give them the chance. When you interview people, when you go for an interview, it's not a matter of whether you're a male or a female. They want the best for that institution.
For that purpose. So
they're not going to pick and say, oh, we are male. No. They are going to listen to your IQ. They're going to listen to how you speak. They're going to listen to what you have up there. It's not only the qualification, but how you can put what you have read or who you are into delivering and making that company better than what it used to be. So why is it when it comes to the nation building, you now relegate women and believe that they're placed in the kitchen? No way. It's not in the kitchen. We know where we are in the kitchen. We know what we're supposed to do in the kitchen. We know what we do in the room. We know what we do with our children because we are multitasking. Then we know what we do with our businesses. And if you can take a business and turn it around, how can you not turn a nation around? Just tell me. You turn it around. And don't forget that you are not ruling that nation alone. You have people with you, intelligent people. So where you're weak or where you don't even know as much, you have a technocrat.
Somebody will fill up the gap.
Who will fill it up. So it is not you as a person that is ruling that country. You all come together as one, and then you make everything work. And if the person is not meeting your standard, you change that person and bring somebody else. Because they are not going to ask that person that is not that person performing. It is the person who is in charge they're going to ask. So it is very, very important that, you see, women, when it comes to taking the bull by the horn, you don't wait for take it, you damn the consequence, and at the end of the day you're happy for it. If you take some decisions and they're not as good as then you change. Nobody is perfect. Then you make adjustments, and you bring in people that will help you to achieve your purpose.
Okay, now let's come back to your experiences as an entrepreneur. So how is that environment? Do you think it's supportive of women, or do you think it's still the same, let me say marginalization, because that's what we use here.
No, it's supportive of women, because many women are into so many different things. But maybe they're not getting the assistance and the support from government and from banks fully, because I know that there's some policies in place, give them loan, give them this. Are they actually getting it and all that and all that? But when it comes to that entrepreneurship, there are many women in it, many women in it that you can even think of, because women are very industrious. Any small thing,
they find a way to
turn it around. If it's just selling small something, they're there. If they're there. If it's a big one, they're there, and they just want to see it, thrive, because it's your business, it's your life, it's a way of helping your husband and helping yourself. Because where he cannot provide in that area, whatever they are doing, they're ready to do it, even without them asking. They just do it. So I think that area could be better. Where there are many women into it, but it could be better.
Now let's come to the question of the kind of support, the kind of disposition that they get from authorities, either from banks or from government and all that. So who manages that? Do you have like a work group? Do you have like a pressure group? Do you have like those who actually can, as it were, lobby for government to do what is right or what is best for women when they are entrepreneurs?
Okay, I don't have an idea of that. I don't know whether there's a group that does that, but I know that there have been so many different times and occasions where some policies have been made, and there have been some funding that has been put aside for women, especially. They will say this loan is for women, go to banks. I know Central Bank has done that on one or two occasions, and the government has approved that, and they send this money to the banks, and they ask women to go there, apply, and they get the money and start them. Even BOI, Bank of Industry, they
yes.
do that also a lot, and then they give it, and then they monitor to ensure that that money is plunged into what they said they're going to use it for. So I know all those are there, and but they can do more. They can do more, because women are very enterprising. They're very enterprising and resilient, very resilient in any area. Just put them there, you see them making it. That reminds me of a story of the lady that had one leg.
Okay, all right. Let's take a break. Let's take a breather. Then we'll come back to that story when we come back. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere. We'll just take some messages and then we'll continue with the pastor.
We must dilate the eyes. We look for if they have cataract, look at the back of their eyes. They have glaucoma. we do a full workup for them.
You will
A lot
remember
of our government should actually open their eyes, especially southwest of the state.
Going to be looking deeper than we ever looked in before to ensure that we close all the loopholes.
It manifests as physical support.
Every edition is an arresting conversation with distinguished Nigerians from various strata of the society, bearing their minds on how we can realize the Nigeria of our dreams. Join us live on Close Flow, Monday, every week here on NTA2 Lagos Network Center. Close Flow. The conversation is about you.
Thank you for staying with us. Still Close Flow coming to you from NTA2 Lagos Network Center. Please don't forget that you can be a part of this conversation if you go back to our social media platforms and let us have your comments or your questions if you like. But essentially, because it's a live conversation, we expect you to call in so that she can answer, she can respond to some of the queries that you want to raise. So we're going to give you two lines, dedicated lines. One of the lines is for SMS, that is messages, short messages. Just text your message to that line. The second line is for your voice call. So you want to call, you want to hear, the pastor speak to you, then you call that line. So let me give you those two lines now. Take your paper and your biro, write the numbers down so you can call the right line. Don't go and mix the lines up, because if you go and text to the call line, we will not be able to attend to you. If you go and send SMS, or if you don't go and call to the SMS line, we cannot attend to you. So get the lines right. The first one is this. For your voice call, you have to dial 080 5975 3044. For your voice call, dial 080 5975 3044. Now, for your messages, for your short messages, dial or send your text to 080 6350 8434. Let me run that again. Send your text messages to 080 6350 8434. Don't forget, we're on YouTube, you're on Facebook, and also on Instagram, so you can also be part of this conversation. But it's important that at least Pastor Adesanya gets to hear what your feelings are about what she said, particularly when it comes to women and how our nation can be rebuilt. Now, let's quickly go back to that story. You had to share a story with us. So what is the lesson from that story?
Okay, the lesson from that story of that lady that was selling and was identified and was helped by the Lagos state was because she was not lazy. She was not lazy. She was ready to, even with her one leg, she was ready to sell because she's got to eat. She has a grandmother,
that she's taking care of.
That she's taking care of. I mean, anybody can say, with one leg, hawking on the road. She was ready to work. So those are the type of things we're talking about. Women just don't sit down idle. We are not lazy people. A woman who is lazy is not. That's not a woman. Something else. Because as a woman, you are always ready to just do something. What can I do to bring something to the table? What can I do to help that man? What can I do to help my children? What can make me happy myself? Because whatever you're doing should make you happy. You're not being forced to do it. You're enjoying it. You're enjoying what you're doing.
And that's very key.
You have to enjoy it. Because when I retired, why I went into event planning and management was because I wanted to do what I enjoy. I enjoy planning. I enjoy bringing smiles to the faces of people. I enjoy making you happy. I left all the accounting and everything. I left that one, but I've done that enough. I'm tired of that. I just want to help people. I want to bring, happiness. Just do a hall, decorate it, and people say, wow, this is lovely. Or help you manage your event. It brings enjoyment to me. I love it. So you have to enjoy what you're doing. And that is why you see many children or many young adults nowadays that what they read in school is not what they're doing. Some are lawyers, some are doctors,
Some are engineers.
I have
Today they are musicians.
Yeah, I have a lawyer friend who is now, she's into catering. She has a big restaurant. There's so many of them like that. So do what you enjoy. When you do what you enjoy, you're not tired of it. And so that girl, she knows that, okay, what can I do? What can I do? Okay, let me just, even if it's pure water, anything that, if it's 5,000 naira or 2,000 naira, let me just start something. And then she turns it over. So that is what we're talking about. And then also, to give a story of that young boy, that's another one I like to talk about, discipline.
Yes.
That young boy that was selling, was it groundnut or something like that? Yes. And the MD of First Bank said, okay, and
bring
then
the rest, yes.
and gave him 10,000. He said,
no, that's not the value.
It's 2,500. The man was wrong. So it's not a matter of you are from a rich home. He's from a poor home because he's selling on the road. But the woman, the mother, has put values in that boy. You don't take what does not belong to you. Godliness with contentment is great gain. Whatever it is yours is what you should take. What is not your own, don't take it. So that sort of a boy cannot be corrupt. Because whatever you give that child that is not, because the mother has already given that training. You don't train a child when he's already grown up. You train that child when he's young. Because that is when you can mold that child. That is when the child can change. You understand? And that is why you cannot, if you have trained your child, nobody should touch you as a girl or as a boy. No uncle, no
auntie, no this.
No this. That's discipline. You touch it. You come and tell mommy, uncle touch my hand. Uncle touch my hand. Mommy say, which uncle? You find the uncle. So all these things is from the young age, not now. So that boy was disciplined, and at the end of the day, see what happened? The mother was blessed. So there's no way you show discipline or you show that value that's been put in you that at the end of the day does not bring reward.
Okay, now let's come back to some of the issues we raised earlier on. Now, IQ, for instance, is celebrated when we want to do, you work at the central bank. It's essential that you must have sufficient intelligent quotient to be able to get employed by the central bank. But how about other life-building values? Emotional intelligence, for instance. Do we have enough of that in what we are doing, especially when it comes to married life and the role of women in the society in building up the community?
That's a very big question. You see, that emotional value is something that I think is still not, is still lacking, especially in marriages, among the young ones, because you see, emotional trauma is not what you can touch. You see, it is not what you can see.
It's not visible.
It's not visible, and so it affects people mentally, and you'll be wondering, why is he behaving like that? Way. Why is she behaving like that? Is what she's going through in the house, or what is going through in the house. Because a marriage that has an abuse emotionally is even more serious than the one that is physical.
Wow.
Because when it's emotional, a lot of things happen. You get panic attack, you can just blank out, because your mind is not just in what you're doing, and that is serious. And so, yes, when we talk of marriage, nobody wants a marriage to be broken. Nobody wants divorce of a home. But when somebody is going through emotional trauma and the spouse does not see it, it's a problem. Because when the spouse sees it and they go, because they have to go for counseling, they have to go for treatment, they have to go for, because you have seen that something is wrong somewhere. Go for therapy, let somebody talk to you. You understand? Bring it out. Don't hold it. Because when you hold it because you don't want to tell people, you don't want somebody to say, she's a bad woman, or he's a bad husband, or is this. You're not talking about it. It affects you terribly. And that will also affect the children and affects the society and the nation. Because when you make decisions on what you're going through. Even the workers in your office, how you deal with them, how you talk to them is what you're bringing from home. A woman who has been battered emotionally at home, when she gets to the office, the way she will talk to the man or to her worker, people will be wondering, is she actually a woman? No, this one can't be married. It's because of what she's going through in the home. So,
Okay, please, she has opened up, as it were, for me, a floodgate so that all of you can be a part of this conversation. She has said that in terms of emotional quotient, maybe we have not really defined it properly for our environment, and therefore some of the issues we are seeing may actually be stemming from there. So the numbers again, it's important that you get to talk to Pastor Adesanya now before she leaves the studio. Don't come and call me after she's gone that you want to collect your philanthropy. Now, the numbers again are for your SMS, send text message just in case your voice message is not going through. Send a simple SMS text, and the numbers are 080-6350-8434. Let me repeat it. 080-6350-8434. SMS. Send SMS to that number. Now, to make a call, if you want to make a call, now send to this number. Call this number. 080-5975-3044. Make a call. You want to talk to us, then call 080-5975-3044. I've told you it's a floodgate. It's an opportunity for you to address some of the pressing problems at home right now that you're going through. Now, let me come back to some other prevalent issues. I just want to know if that is part of our cultural fault line. That's a question of ethnicity and the way the profile of the woman is being treated across ethnic divides.
well, for that, well, I wouldn't say much of ethnicity, but the culture of different areas. You know, for example, there's some areas that
Child marriages.
So, and when that happens, to them, they don't say anything wrong in it. But to those of us, we know it's child abuse. Because if a child gets married by 15, 10, 12,
Emotionally.
that child that child is still a child. So he doesn't even know what is happening. And then at that she's a child, then she's having a child. How does she cope? What value? What does she want to train? Child. That's one. Then two, we just blame these
Adjuries,
and all
yes.
that. We just blame them for nothing. Because some of them, by the time they're 7 to 8, they're left on the road. They don't have any home address. They've got to fend for themselves. Imagine your 7 or 8-year-old child
On the street.
doing what? Because he's a child. So such a child has no understanding, no direction, sleeps under the bridge and all that. And then you now say they're stealing. What do you expect them to do? How do you expect them to live? So our government has to do a lot. Honestly, they have to do a lot. And for example, I know that there's some children that maybe ran away from home and sleeps under the bridge, maybe because their homes were not conducive, they are being maltreated and all that, and the church has had opportunity to take some of them, to talk to them, minister to them, and some of them are graduates today. So which means that there is no child that cannot be a graduate or that cannot be taught, but that child does not have the opportunity. So if a child has an opportunity to make it in life, why can't we? So those type of children, they should be able to be taught, to be educated, to have the normal, rudiments of life, so that at the end of the day, the society is built. Because all these Boko Haram, all these insurgencies we have in Nigeria, these are the type of people that are being used. Even the area boys, they are some people's children. And see, some of these area boys, they don't want to do area boys, but they don't have any other thing to do. So these are the people, if you give them adult education, you'll be shocked. The intelligence some of them have. The transformation. So these are the things that we should look into to ensure that our nation is better.
Now, let's come back to how we can practicalize this. As a philanthropist, so what kind of campaigns or what is the profile of people that you have helped? You've given us an example, for instance, rehabilitating those who, ran away from home and they were living under bridges. So what kind of profiles of deprived or deprivation have you dealt with in your philanthropic work?
We've dealt with children and we've dealt with adults. There was a place that we opened up a canopy, and then we went to that area and brought some children together and then some adults together to train them, to start teaching them gradually, and it worked. And then even some adults, how to make things that, because adults, the mamas and they are all grown and all
already
that. Yes, already. So how can they make their life better? Some of them do soap, teach them how to do soap, some catering, some baking, different things like that. So that has helped in a way to bring sanity and then to help their family. Yeah.
Thank you very much. Well, incidentally, Antonia from Lagos has sent in this, just a comment. Antonia says, Pastor Adesoya has said it all. Discipline the children we grow up to impact their society positively. When you catch them young and impact moral values in them, it's easy for them to carry such values into any other position they find themselves.
That's true.
You agree with that?
I agree.
You want to say thank you to Antonia?
Thank you very much, Antonia, for listening and for also putting in that comment. Because if you catch them young, as we have said, definitely, if we catch many of them young, this nation, especially the poor, especially those that cannot afford, give them scholarship, help them, see how you can improve their lives. Once they get to the secondary level, honestly, they can do it on their own because they are eager. They have been looking for somebody to help. And so you have come around to just say, okay, let me help you. And you see there'll be a lot of
do you have a negative impression about NSAS and all these protests by these young people?
Not really. No, not really. Because we are only fighting for what we have not given to them. We have failed them. Oh, we have failed them.
That's what Professor Wole Soyinka also said.
We failed them. We failed them. And they haven't done anything wrong. They just came out to say, this is who we are. Give us a chance. There's so many graduates walking around, no jobs. For years, no jobs. And they can do something. So that is the song they're singing. Listen to us. Help us. Provide something. Let's have an industrial park. Let's have something that, you bring us together and let's showcase what we have. Know that, why is it that we have all these, our children all over the world, and they are making waves. They're standing out in every area they are. We also have them in Nigeria. See the way they organize themselves. See the way the NSAS was organized. So why are we angry? We should just repent and say we have failed. Let these children, let's help them. Put some of them in government. Put them in Lagos State. Okay, this is what you can do. Go and do this. Let's see. Okay, 5 of you come together. Give me,
an example
of what you want us to do. Okay, I'm going to put all of you together. This area, address it, and then see what. If they cannot perform, then you can say they are not performing. They are only saying, please listen to us. Don't only hear, listen. When you listen, you do something about it. Help us out. We've been here for years, and they have been, without direction.
For all these years.
Remember, in our own days, when we come out from the university, before you come out from the university, people have come to poach you. Oh, we want you for this. You go for that interview. It's not like that anymore. So they're just saying that you trained us. We have this knowledge. Use it. If you don't use it, how do you know that we are capable? You have to use us. That's what they're just saying. And so it is time for us to be opened. We are now in the modern world. Be opened. Let them teach us. Some children can teach us.
I like that. You're saying that the youths also have their own, as it were, their own depth of knowledge of some of the things.
Oh, yes. There's some things they know you don't know. There's some things the youths know. They don't. If you give a child of 6 now your handset or your iPad, they will operate it. All those gadgets you don't know that you only just to type and to say delete. They will teach you. So what are we talking about? So if a child of 6, 7 can do that, then how much more somebody who has gone to the university, whose brain is very sharp and is waiting I mean, when we don't use them, we make those brain corrode the brains. They cannot use it. So it is time for them. Let them come out and build this nation. Let's give them the time. We've done our own time. We've rested.
Now, okay, we have a text message here also from another contributor. That's Niyi Ajao from Iwo in Osun State. But before I take that, so what is it with this generational challenge? Why is our own generation not ready to let the younger generation take responsibility? Where do you think the problem is coming
It's
from?
corruption, greed. We're greedy. We're greedy.
We don't want to let go.
No, we don't want to let go. And yet we eat. We have not even seen it. Yeah, we're greedy. Let it go. How much do you want to eat? Someone want to put money for their great grandchildren. For what? Do your bit.
And move on.
Godliness with contentment is great gain. I mean, if what you have given me is 10,000 naira and I'm earning it every month, no problem. It's coming regularly. How can a pensioner, after working for years, he will be going
and he cannot get the money?
I mean, what is that? He cannot get the money, and the person will die there. I remember when my father retired from Federal Ministry of Works in Lagos. In Abuja, I work out, Jesus. If
just to help me get his pension.
Just to get, all the papers were ready. I wrote, I did everything. Oh, it will come. Well, at the end of the day, when everything was ready, they now said, they have to come and see him. I said, you don't have to come and see him from Abuja to Lagos. I said, thank God for video. Let me do video recording. If you show the date, it will talk. He said, no, they have to come to Lagos. I still told my father, he did the recording. They did every recording, and then I took it. I said, look at him. Look at the date. He cannot come. He's too old. And you are coming. I said, okay, when are you coming? They said, they have to start from Enugu to this. I said, when are you going to reach Lagos? They don't know. At the end of the day, the man died without his pension, without anything. So you can imagine the people
who cannot
afford to even do that, or even have children that can take care of them. They just die, and you take their money. You take everything they've worked for.
Okay, this is what Niyi Ajao has to say. Niyi says, considering the prevailing political and economic situations in the country, do you think that things would change for the better, most especially if the women folk will be accorded the ample opportunities to be at the helm of affairs as president of the country? Do you see a positive change?
I have no doubt.
Oh, Niyi, please speak to Niyi.
Niyi, I have no doubt. If you give women a chance, just for once, just see what they are going to do. I'm telling you. Because I know that there's so many women who are ready to put in so much effort into this country to make turn around. I'm even one of the, I'm a member of one of the, with the
groups,
women.
Yes.
Yes. And with the women, what do? We're just encouraging people to register, to vote, and to participate. Just do your own bit. And when people come out to have debates, don't be sentimental. The last time many people came out for presidency and all that, we listened to the, and we know the person that at least, if you all voted for that person, we know that person will come out and make it. He's not my candidate, and it doesn't have to be my candidate.
Yes.
If we are fair and we listen to what is happening, you will know who can rule this country. So if some women come out and they talk, don't be sentimental. Put questions to them and see whether they will not be able to handle it. But when you are sentimental and say, "Oh, it's one party that must be," then we are not ready. We're not ready to see a change in the country. But when we are ready to see a change in the country, people will get up and say, "This person," because we know. But when that time comes, what they will give you, what you will receive is, because I had that problem when I was campaigning. They will ask me, "Madam, what do you have?" I said, "I don't have anything." I said, "What I can promise you is that when I get there, by the grace of God,
these are the things I will do.
I will do what I say I will do. But if you are expecting me to give you a bag of rice, to give you money, I don't have it. And so don't even think that you're not voting for me. If God wants me to get there, I'll get there. So it's not a matter of I need your vote, quite all right, but don't see it being attached
as a life and death matter.
It's not life and death. It's service. When you want to serve, you don't fight to serve. I mean, you don't fight to serve. You give it willingly and voluntarily with all your might.
All right, Pastor Adesanya, thank you so very much for being part of this. Well, for making this conversation very lively. I did say to our viewers that you opened the floodgates. Unfortunately, the network service providers, we are not able to help us with all the messages coming in. But I'm hoping that our viewers will go to our SMS, social media platforms, and let's register their presence or their comments or their questions, so we can then share with you later on, as we go on. So for our viewers, thank you for watching. I'm sure on your behalf, I'm saying thank you to Pastor Adesanya for coming on the show. And then it's time over with us on Close Flow. Just go on to our YouTube page, go on to Instagram, go on to Facebook, and let's have your own opinion or your own, is it a side hustle? Or what do you think she has done here that is truly commendable that we can share with other Nigerians so we can redefine where our nation is? Thank you for watching, and it's bye for now.